Alright, this video is not designed to teach you everything there is about pivoting. It's designed to be a companion to what was taught in class. Okay? This is about pivoting, however. Now, you can do this in the TI-84 calculator, but first thing and the 83. There's no difference between the 83, 84, new version, old. All the same. What I want to do first is put this in a matrix. So 3, 2, 4... 2, 1, 2, negative 1, 5, negative 3, 4, negative 2, 2. Okay? This document will be available in a link at the bottom of the video, so you can download it, print it, and work along with me in the video. Just pause so you can see what's going on. Sorry if the camera's shaking a little bit. The camera's on a high rig above the table, and if I hit the table too hard, the camera will shake. So first things first, I got to get this in the calculator. So I'm going to turn the calculator on. I'm not going to put it in a matrix. What I'm going to do is hit Stat and press Enter. And when I do that, I'm going to see L1, L2, and L3. That's going to give me a set of list. Okay? And with that set of list, I can work it just like the matrix right here. In other words, if I look at this, here's row 1. Here's row 2, here's row 3. So what I'm going to end up doing is putting row 1 in list 1, row 2 in list 2, and row 3 in list 3. So this is how I'm going to put this in the calculator. So I'm going to have 3, 2, negative 1, and 4. Then I'm going to have 2, 1, 5, and negative 2. And then I'm going to have 4, 2, negative 3, 2. There we go. I've got my numbers set up. Now let me type them in here. Press Stat, hit Enter. Now I want to get the numbers out. So I hit Clear and Enter. Do not hit Delete. If you hit Delete, it deletes the whole column, and you don't want to do that. Hit Clear and Enter. It's just the best thing to do. So I'm going to type them in. I'm going to hit 3, Enter, 2, Enter, negative 1, Enter, 4, Enter. Go over to the next column. I'm putting L2 in. Okay, so I'm going to have 2, enter, 1, enter, 5, enter, negative 2, enter. Then I go over to L3, I'm going to put in 4, enter, 2, enter, negative 3, enter, and 2, enter. Okay, so let me take it this way. You can see L1 and L2. I'm going to pick my calculator up, and you can see that that's exactly what I've done. And you can see I got some bright lights in here. Okay. So now that I've done that, what I need to do is start working on pivoting. So let me move the calculator over to some blank paper, and I'm going to recopy this matrix down here. 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 2, negative 1, 5, negative 3, draw a line, 4, negative 2, 2. Okay, now first thing I want to do is put a 1 right there. That is in row 1, column 1. So R equals 1, C equals 1. Okay? Now, what I want to do to it is I want to put a 1 there. The equation for a 1 is up here at the top of the page. It says to find a 1, flip over, RC arrow RC. Well, that's a 3. To flip it over, I'm going to get a 1/3. I'm going to have an R arrow R. Now this tells me C equals 1, so I'm going to put 1s where those C's are. Okay? In my calculator, I'm going to hit second quit. I'm going to the home screen. Now on the calculator screen at this point, what I can do is type 1/3 L1 arrow L1. So what I type in the calculator screen here looks exactly like what I'm writing by hand. Okay? So I'm going to put parentheses 1 divided by 3, close parentheses. Okay, now I'm going to hold the calculator up where everyone can see what I'm doing. To get the L1, you hit second 1. See it written right up there? So what I'm going to do to get my L1 is I'm going to hit second 1. And now if you look, put that on the screen where you can see it. To get this arrow right here, you hit the stow button. The stow button's right above on. It's right here above on, so I hit stow, and I hit second 1. So I want the calculator screen to look exactly like what I'm typing. Then I press enter, and it gives me a bunch of decimals. To get it out of decimals, I'm going to hit math, enter, enter, and that gets it into fractions. Now what that's done for me is that gives me the first row back. Only the first row is completed. So I'm going to have 1 2/3, negative 1/3, 4/3. The bottom two rows are still the same. 2, 1, 5, negative 2, 4, 2, negative 3, 2. So I got my bottom two rows still the same. Now the next thing I want to do is go to this one. I want to get it to be a 0. So it is in row 2, column 1. My 0 equation, I'm going to move my paper down. It's still visible on screen though, is right here. So I'm going to write it out without any numbers in it. Everyone see what I'm doing there? It's just change signs right here. So I'm going to take that 2 and change its sign to negative 2. There's a little C down there, so C equals 1, so I put 1 here. Little R's down there, so I put 2's here. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that to L's. So I'm going to have negative 2 L1 plus L2 arrow L2. So on my calculator screen, I'm going to type this equation over here. Okay. So I'm going to put parenthesis negative 2 close parenthesis. Now to get the L2, I'm going to hit second, and I'm off camera a little bit, just a little bit. I'm going to hit second 2, draw plus, put a plus. Oh, that was wrong. Go back. That's going to be second 1. See, I got an L1 there. I was about to make a mistake. I'm putting an L2. Don't do that. Then we're going to hit plus, and we hit second 2. All right. Then I will hit the store button and hit second 2. Now it doesn't hurt to do, but check this before you press enter, because if I get it wrong, I'm going to have to correct my mistake. And I have negative 2 L1 plus L2 arrow L2. And remember, L1 is second 1, L2 is second 2, and the arrow is the stow button right above on. And if I press enter, I get those decimals again. I hit math, enter, enter, and it gives it to me in fractions. Okay, so I'm going to copy that down to my paper here. So I am going to get 1 2/3, negative 1/3, 4/3. Now this is 0, negative 1/3. Sorry, my watch thought I wanted something. 17/3. Now if I press the arrow button over, it'll give me the negative 14/3. The newer 84 is the screen resolution is good enough that you don't have to press the arrow over. Okay? And then the bottom row is still 4, 2, negative 3, 2. So I want to go to this spot now. Okay? And that's in row 3, column 1. Okay? Everyone follow? I want to get a 1 out of it again. I mean a 0 out of it again. So if I take my paper and show it to you all again, remember zeros are chain signs. RC plus RR arrow RR. So I want to change the sign of that, make it negative 4. The C is 1, so it'll be R1 plus my R is 3, R3 arrow R3. And again, what I want to do is convert that to L's. Okay, everyone follow what I'm doing. I'm slightly off camera right there, and I have something right there, so give me trouble. Okay, everyone see what I'm doing right there? Now I want to type that in the calculator. So on my screen here, I'm going to type it, and I'm going to move the calculator up just a little bit. What I want to do is parenthesis, negative 4, close parenthesis. So I'm matching this. I'm going to hit second 1, that gives me the L1, plus second 3 for the L3. I hit the arrow button, I hit second 3, and then I can press enter. Then I'm going to have to hit math, enter, enter, to get that to fractions again. Okay? Now I write too big on this, so I'm going to have to write on another piece of paper. So I'm going to copy this matrix down again. The first 2 rows stayed the same. So I have 1 2/3, negative 1/3, 4/3, 0, negative 1/3, 17/3, negative 14/3. Now I'm copying from the calculator for this bottom row down here. So it's 0, negative 2/3, negative 5/3. And if I scroll over, I get negative 10/3. And there you go. We've performed a full pivot. It doesn't take that much work to do it in the calculator. You just have to be careful. If you make a mistake, you just press Stat, hit Enter, and retype in the row you made a mistake on. And then do it again. And you're going to know you made a mistake because you won't get a 1 or 0 where you want it. All right, I hope you all find that helpful. That's all the time I got. I wasn't trying to do a really good round of this. I have some other stuff I need to do. This video will be up soon. Have a good one.